standing up today and filming, see if I can get more energy into my videos. I miss sitting. Hello, my sparkly little unicorns! I know it's been so long since I have sat down and filmed a video, not actually sitting. Stud. On with the actual video. So I obviously missed Halloween, which I am completely gutted about. I love Halloween. It's one of my favourite times of the year. I get to dress up. This year I went as American McGee's Alice, which looks like this. And this is how I actually ended up looking. But I really enjoyed it. I ended up going to a work Halloween party. It was fantastic. But I didn't do any Halloween related videos. I was going to do another pumpkin carving thing, a rematch if you will from last year, and just loads and loads of different costumes and makeup looks, but I just never actually got round to it because life got in the way, as it always does. But one of the things I really wanted to do was a story time. Now this is a true story time. Like, I would never do a story time on something made up. So everything I am telling you actually happened to me, as far-fetched as this is going to sound. I can't even believe this happened. This didn't happen around this time of year. It happened earlier on when I first started working at my place of work. So yeah, let's just get into this crazy story. Okay, so as you guys know, I work in care, and the care home that I work in is basically in a square with a little bit coming off, and bog standard for a care home, everything's on the same level, yada yada yada. So obviously, as part of my job, end of life care and death is kind of a given. It is something that I have to deal with, and it's potentially something that can happen at any point, you know? So the idea that a lot of people have died in this said care home is it's pretty high, okay? It's pretty high. There have been deaths since working there and bits and bobs, and obviously the staff that have been there for a long time tell their ghost stories, tell the things that they've seen, and you kind of go, yeah, alright then. Because they're so far-fetched and so ridiculous that you cannot for a second believe that these things actually happened. But then it happens to you. Some of the things other carers have seen. Number one, on one of my first days, a fellow carer told me that he had seen someone walk through another carer, and the other carer had turned around and went, oh, I just went all cold all of a sudden. And he turned around and said, well, of course you did. Like, I just saw someone walk through you. I know a lot of the night staff have reported seeing wheelchairs going down the corridor on its own. Like, really horror movie level of stuff, and I'm there like, really? So it's a dark and miserable day. I'm walking up one of the corridors. Now the corridors are completely straight until you hit the corner, and it has rooms either side and then like a lounge or a door to the garden. I was actually heading to the corridor at the other side of it, but I had to walk through that corridor to get there. Now I was looking for another member of staff. This is one of the things about this care home and a lot of the places that I've worked, that you can lose everyone like that. Like, you can walk round and round and round and not see anyone for an hour. Like, when I first started working there, I couldn't find where I was. I didn't know which corridor I was on. I didn't know which way I was going, and I couldn't find another member of staff because it was just impossible. It was like the Bermuda Triangle. Like, people just disappeared off the face of the earth. And this was one of those occasions where I hadn't seen anyone in a while. I was just going around answering a couple of people's buzzers. In the home, people press their buzzer and we sort of go and assist them. I was going down one corridor to turn to that corridor. So if we look at it this way, I'm walking along to turn to go that way. There's rooms this side, there's rooms this side, and then there's two rooms at the end. And then there's the corridor going straight. There's no way to the outside. There's nowhere for them to go anywhere else but these rooms without me seeing them. So I'm walking down this corridor and I see someone in red. Now our uniform is red, so I immediately think it's a carer, and they straight across, like the speed of light. They go from one room into the next, straight across, and I'm like, finally! So I walk into the room that they've slid across to. Nobody's in there. Not only is nobody in there, the resident isn't in there. There is no carer and no resident, not one person. So then I turn to look at the other side, because you can see diagonally across. There is no one in that room either. They couldn't have gone. I don't understand where they went. And I know what I saw. Clear as day, I know what I saw. And I saw someone walk across in red, but there's no one there. There's absolutely nobody there. It was terrifying. I can remember walking into another resident's room to check on them who was on the same corridor, and then a member of staff did come in. Just as they were walking in, I heard coughing, but it was like in the room with me, and I said, "Did you hear that coughing?" And they went, "No." And the resident hadn't coughed, I hadn't coughed. So I asked everyone, had they gone from so-and-so to so-and-so's room, because I saw someone in red jump across. Did you see that? Was anybody there? What happened? And nobody was there. Nobody was there, nobody had heard of it, and it absolutely terrified me. Part of our paperwork system is that we have paper down the hall for residents, their care plans, so staff can know what their needs are, what they require, if they're allergic to anything. It's easy to grab, so we know, shh, I'm telling a dramatic story. I can remember walking down one of the corridors. Now this corridor in particular did not have any doors to the outside. Two of the corridors on this side here, so here, they all have like a lounge or a dining room in which they can go out into the courtyard. This corridor here, which I was currently on, had nothing to the outside. It was a cold day and all the residents had their windows closed and the heating was on. There was no windows open or anything like that. I'm walking along this corridor just minding my own business, trying to get on with a bit of work, and walking through. All of these care plans and all of these files and folders just catapult towards me, come off the side, like almost like a gust of wind, but like with a leaf blower or something. Just all of them, poof. And I'm stood there and I'm like, what? And then a member of staff comes around the corner after I'm sort of picking them up and everything. It's like, what have you done? And I'm like, they all just flew off. Apparently that's something that happens quite a lot. Next story. One of the residents, the one in which questioned whose room I'd seen someone walk into, she constantly says that she can see a little boy or there's always someone there. She seems to be, if you will, very connected with that side of things. So the lady across the way had passed away. Now she'd passed away while two carers were currently in the room, and these carers had not yet left the room to tell other members of staff, to tell the management or anything. They had not left the room yet. And this lady across the way had been buzzing frantically because she was quite agitated and worried. And we went in and we asked her, you know, what's the problem? What's happened? Can we help you? And she said, I'm so sorry about the lady across the way. She's died, hasn't she? What? No. She's fine. She goes, no, I've just seen her. She's just left the room. And we're like, now this lady in question who had passed away, she was on end of life. We were a little bit worried at this point, to which then the two carers had come out and then explained that the lady had passed away. Now there is always a chance that she may have heard what was happening and may have heard someone say something. There is always that chance, but we as staff didn't know, and they hadn't actually left the room yet to tell anyone. So did she see that resident leaving the room, going on to her next venture, if you will? Does she see things all the time? Did I see someone dart across? Were the wheelchairs real? I don't know. All I know is what I've seen with my own eyes, and it has opened my eyes. I hope you enjoyed this little ghosty story. I'm sorry that it's after Halloween, guys. It's just been one heck of a couple of months. I am very, very excited to be back. If you would like more story times like this, then comment below and let me know, because I do enjoy sharing these with you. I've got lots standing up today and filming. See if I can get more energy into my videos. I miss sitting. Hello, my sparkly little unicorns. I know it has been so long since I have sat down and filmed a video. Not actually sitting. Stood. On with the actual video. So I'm standing up today and filming. See if I can get more energy into my videos. I miss sitting. Hello, my sparkly little unicorns. I know it has been so long since I have sat down and filmed a video. Not actually sitting. Stood. On with the actual video. So I obviously missed Halloween, which I am completely gutted about. I love Halloween. It's one of my favourite times of the year. I get to dress up. This year I went as American McGee's Alice, which looks like this. Standing up today and filming. See if I can get more energy into my videos. I miss sitting. Hello, my sparkly little unicorns. I know it has been so long since I have sat down and filmed a video. Not actually sitting. stud. On with the actual video. So I obviously missed Halloween, which I am completely gutted about. I love Halloween. It's one of my favourite times of the year. I get to dress up. This year I went as American McGee's Alice, which looks like this. And this is how I actually ended up looking. But I really enjoyed it. I ended up